to WC and cut. And let's do that. So we'll learn about WC, word count, and we'll try some examples. And then we'll also look at cut and try some examples with cut. So WC, it calculates a file's word, line, character, or byte count, and it returns the value in that order. So you will simply get 3 columns for each of these word, line, and character, or byte count. So the syntax of the command is WC and any options, so that you could, for instance, ask for only number of lines, only number of characters, or only number of words on a specific file or other things. So if we are going to this same directory where we have these files here, then again, please follow along and type along if you want to. And we are going to first, if you simply say WC, word count is a shortcut name for it, on some file, and you could pick my file 1.txt, then you get this output here. That means there are 4 lines, 15 words, and 80 characters. And let's try and look at the file and see how it looks. Well, it's easy to see there are 4 lines, and 15 words seems reasonable, and 80 characters, and you can count them if you want to. And this also is a very useful command. You could also run it on all files that, for instance, have the suffix .txt. And here I am just using star.txt, asterisk.txt. So you get an output of all those files that has .txt as a suffix in the name. And then you're getting an output that says this is the number of lines. You can see there are some empty files. And this is the number of words, and this is the number of characters. And it also sums it, by the way. So this is the total number of lines, words, and characters. And if you did it on just a file, then you can also send it to a file, of course. So if we do word count and then do it all the lines we're asking for, and let's do it my file to the text, and then we could send it to total, maybe total lines. And then there will now be a file total lines that contains the fact that there are 2 lines in my file 2.txt. So what if we combine this WC word count with looking at these files with .txt in the suffix, and then we are sorting them like this, numerically, alphanumerically. And then you can see this is again lines, and this is also the words, and this is the characters. N sorts them regular numerically, but it sorts it by lines because that's what we asked for. So it sorts by the first column. And you could change that by doing sort minus K and 2, for instance. So you could pipe it to sort minus K3. and then it sorts it by that line instead. So if you give WC with no input, then it will sit there and wait for input. So, and of course there won't be input to this. So, I mean, that's simply an error. So you can escape that just like you would otherwise with Control C. So that's just good reminder. So assume you have a large number of files that you want to run WC on. And then maybe you don't want the output thrown to the screen. And you could, as I did before, pipe it to T in a file. And you could also just use this redirect here to a file. And it does the same thing as T does. There's often several ways of doing things. So now there's a file length there, and you can look inside of it, and you see that it has the length of the files, the number of lines of the file, sorry. And this is what you got here. This is different because I had added files since. And maybe imagine you had a longer list of files in it, then you could then again pipe it also to more or less, so that you only see part of it and can get them one screen full at a time by pushing the space. So let's do a few exercises. And in this case, there are 3 exercises. And we again doing them to the files in the piping WC cut directory. And simply try out WC again. Try to count the number of words in, for instance, file.txt. I will just check that file.txt has content. It does. Good. So it's a good file to play with. And you can also try numbers.txt to count characters in that. And then also check how many lines in total are in all files in directory piping WC cut. So let's take 4 minutes for that until 9:50.